To demonstrate the relationship between temperature and pressure, we're going to implode this 5-gallon steel drum using nothing but steam. To start the demo off, I'm adding 400 milliliters of warm water onto the inside of this drum, and I'm going to seal it using this valve with a rubber stopper. Now, rather than keeping this closed, I'm going to set this valve to open, and we're going to boil the water on the inside of this drum using a microburner. Now, as this water starts to boil, it's going to produce a lot of steam, and the steam is going to leave the drum through this vent. After a certain amount of time, I'm going to close the vent, leaving it filled with hot steam at atmospheric pressure. As that starts to cool down, the interior pressure will drop significantly, eventually leading to this drum imploding on itself. So, let's watch what happens. There are some long periods of waiting in this demo, so I'm going to fast forward about 7 minutes here to the point where we see steam coming out of the vent. Okay, and it's a bit difficult to see on the camera, but there's a pretty steady flow of steam coming out of the nozzle now. I'm going to let this run for a few minutes before turning off the microburner and closing the valve to make sure that we have pretty much all of the air inside this drum heated up to right around 100 degrees Celsius. Again, we're going to fast forward for about 5 minutes here. Okay, I think that's run long enough, so I'm gonna shut off the burner, pull that away, and quickly close the valve. Now, typically this takes about 5 minutes before it implodes, but we'll just keep the camera running and see what we catch. Fast forwarding for a few minutes one last time. Pay attention to how the position of the valve seems to shrink in a little bit as it cools down. This demo works because the cooling vapor inside of the drum drastically lowers the pressure inside. When the water is boiling and the valve is open, the pressure is 1 atmosphere or 760 torr. When the valve is closed and the heating is turned off, the water vapor condenses from a gas to a liquid, lowering the pressure down to 2 to 3% of atmospheric pressure. This pressure difference between the interior and exterior of the drum is equivalent to more than 10,000 pounds of pressure. Watching this in slow motion, we see that this is really a sudden implosion. We can also run a much smaller scale version of this demo using boiling water in any sort of aluminum can. Rather than having a lid, you just invert it quickly into a bath of ice where it implodes.